What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN, USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 26th day of October. Here we are with about 11 hours left in the day, sitting here at 0.009. I know what a wild price that is. We've been in this exact same area for the past week now. I am expecting, one of two things. Either one, maybe one of three things. One, and this is the most expected outcome, is that we just rip from here, right? We're going to see a massive rip. It's going to make your head spin. We're going to be up hundreds of percentages in a matter of days. You don't even know, man. I mean, by the end of this month, if not sometime in the first week of November, we're going to see a lot of growth. Number two, maybe not hundreds of percentages, but a little bit more of a moderate growth over the same amount of time, right? Or number three, we dip first, we have one last little correction, and then we move up. And maybe the dip isn't this much, but I was considering a dip because I'm looking at the XCN BTC chart here, and I'm looking at this low to this high here, and seeing that we just skimmed the golden ratio zone. Now that's fine. We found support right here at prior resistance. That's fine on the XCN BTC chart. But wouldn't it be nice if we hit the golden ratio zone? So what if we dropped a little bit while Bitcoin was pumping? That could be enough to get us down here perhaps. And we do have bullish divergence, very severe bullish divergence, my friends, on the weekly MACD here. Very, very severe. And it's still diverging now. Going down there would just give us another deep red histogram, and that would be confirmation of furthering that bullish divergence. We do have bullish divergence on the stochastics as well, and while we're here looking at the XCN BTC chart, the RSI is almost at the oversold zone, where again typically, actually, if you look at this, you go just below, so suggesting that we could go a little bit lower. While the stochastics are oversold as well, and you just rejected the oversold zone there, it is possible that we go lower. So again, just that third thought that maybe we do stagnate, or maybe we do come down a little bit while Bitcoin's growing, that could promote this thing to drop a little bit more, and in which case it interacts with this golden ratio. We'd get more bullish divergence on the weekly time frame, and we would come back up. But again, focusing on this bullish divergence on the weekly time frame on the MACD here, and on the even on the OnyxCoin US dollar chart itself, you've got this bullish divergence as well, right? From here to there, right here, from this point to this point, and it's somewhat diverging, overall, somewhat it is, but here we did have a deeper reading than we did, here, so it's technically not all divergence, but to some degree you've really been diverging, going back here, but really specifically from this range. I'm really glad that last week, even though it was a red week, I'm glad that we got another deep red reading in the histogram there, because that really does validate the bullish divergence, and I do believe that this should propel us to prices that are likely going to be above this range here. So just imagine, if you will, that OnyxCoin, again, it does one of these three things, right? Maybe just skyrockets, moves up at a moderate pace, moves down first, whatever, and then it moves up, whatever it might be. And again, it wouldn't move down that much. I'm just drawing that for an example. Imagine here, there's just total despair, right? And people are bored, people are looking elsewhere to put their money, or they're just calling this thing a scam, even though it's not. There's a lot of building and development that's going on daily, weekly. It's literally happening all the time. And there's more stuff coming out by the end of the year. Just you wait. Imagine the perspective shift that comes with being above this zone here. Whenever we get above this zone right here, we're looking to really break out of this overall downtrend, and I would think that getting above about 1.4 cents would do it. It would break out of this downtrend that we've been in really since April. And with that, I would imagine, just like the last break of the last significant downtrend, we get a pretty significant move, a sizable move up. If we're looking at this for what it is, as like an overall range, we have bullish divergence both on the US dollar pairing and the Bitcoin pairing on a weekly time frame, which is pretty powerful stuff. Where might be areas of significance throughout this range, right? I mean, already we can see that there's some significance here for support, some significance here for support and resistance, right? There's some significance here as far as resistance goes as well, and even a little bit of support there. So if I'm forecasting that we're going to be breaking out of this range with the help of this bullish divergence on the US dollar pair and the Bitcoin pair, where might the next significant kind of area be? I mean, if it's not all the way up here at 2 cents, then maybe right here where we found support and some resistance there, maybe right there. I mean, I might have overlooked that. Perhaps all the way up here at that high as well. We've got a lot of points of interest, and the lowest one that I feel like is reasonable, it's rational looking at this chart once we break above this area, which by the way, that in itself, just to get to the top of this zone, that's about a 41% increase, but we're talking about breaking this area. The next target from there would be about a 84% increase from the current price, and we'd make that happen fast, man. When we get above here, we're just going to teleport there, and we might not stop. We really could go all the way up to 2 cents or beyond. I'm kind of anticipating that personally. This could all happen by the end of the month. It's the 26th right now. We got 5 days left in the month, 10 hours 54 minutes left. 5 days, 10 hours 54. We could make this happen. We could definitely make this happen. And if it's not by the end of the month, then sometime in early November, for sure, we'd be here looking to progress higher and to see even higher highs than what we've had so far this cycle by the end of the month of November as well, right? Then the party's just starting again. The thought that I'm really trying to promote here is not how high will this thing go. It's that once you get here, okay, when we get here, when this bullish divergence enacts itself and we move up, we get here. If we break this line, where are we going to go? Where's the next plausible area? Here or here? Okay. So let's just delete this again. Let's delete all this. So we're going to stop either here or here, roughly, right? If we look at this downtrend for what it is, we use a straight line. I'm not just going to draw a line. Let's just look at this downtrend for what it is. Maybe it starts there. Maybe it starts all the way back here. I don't know. However you want to analyze it, right? Line of best fit either way. If we're up here, I don't care who you are, no matter who you are, we're definitely breaking this trend. And if we get above this high, we're absolutely setting a new trend. We're getting higher highs at that point, no longer getting lower highs. We get up here, again, the thought that I'm really trying to drive home here is that the perspective is going to shift. Anybody and everybody who's considered buying OnyxCoin, they're going to feel the FOMO here. And that FOMO is only going to ramp up as the price drives higher, especially as it drives higher than anything it's been at all year. The perspective will shift, is all I'm trying to say. I'm very, very excited for that. And that should be coming any day now, any week now, especially because we have this weekly bullish divergence on not just the MACD, but on the stochastics as well. We don't have it on the RSI, but we are at the same areas in the RSI that we found support last time when we were literally at our lows before we moved up. The XCN BTC chart is at the lowest prices that it's been in a while. We found support directly off of this prior area of resistance. We don't have to go to the golden ratio zone, but wouldn't that be nice? We're also right here at the RSI, the oversold area, where we found support before twice. A little bit lower, so maybe we do go lower. Maybe it's not this week, maybe it's not next week, but sometime soon enough, guys, we can only go so low before we see some reverberations to the upside. And I very much am expecting that this bullish divergence on the MACD, on the XCN BTC chart, the bullish divergence on the stochastics, on both USD and BTC charts, it's going to allow us to really see some life come into this coin as time goes on. We didn't have bullish divergence back here on a weekly time frame. We didn't have it back here. We're only more well postured here, I would think, than we were back here, honestly. Just a long phase of consolidation, and whenever it comes to an end, whenever we do break out, again, the perspective shift that we're focusing on so much, there's a reason behind it. Is because when we break out of this, one would think that we're probably breaking out of this overall range, or that we're looking to break out of it. So with that in mind, where might you go, right? And the immediate first targets to consider are 8.2 cents to 15.7 cents. Which that's not where I ultimately think we're going to go. Ultimately, I mean, OnyxCoin is going to go up to somewhere above $1. That's my thoughts. Ultimately, probably, literally in this kind of time frame too. Maybe like, let's say like this kind of time frame right here. April to like late May, something like that. But I would expect that before we see another large consolidation phase, we probably stop somewhere either close to this level here or the 26 to 32 cent level here, something in this zone, right? We'll probably consolidate a little bit, and then we will continue to rally going into the end of the cycle, right, to our final destination up here. And again, all this is connected by the thought of the perspective shift here. Whenever we get to 2 cents, whenever we get to 1.5 cents, whatever the case may be, 1.6 cents, wherever it is, these areas of significance, the thought is going to be, okay, we're breaking out of this. This thing moved up massively earlier this cycle. It's been in a massive accumulative phase now. What's coming next? It will likely be an expansion on this move here, right? That doesn't mean that it'll be a 2-week period where we do a 20x again, but maybe. You never know. And whenever it happens, you guys, you'll be better prepared for it if you're staking your coins. Okay, you'll be better prepared for it if you're buying now, right? Buying in areas of strength where you don't have to worry about it. Remember, this whole time that we moved up, it seems like a straight line. It's a very fond memory. 2 weeks went up. All you had to do was buy and hold. It's just that simple, right? But there were times throughout this, and if we actually had the 4-hour candle, there'd be even more instances than this. But there were times, once here from a high to a low, we dropped 48% in less than a 24-hour period. We did it again here. We dropped 43% in less than a 24-hour period. We dropped here again, right, all the way on the path higher. You saw 40% drops multiple times, like within a week. Before that, a 40% drop, we look back at it and we're like, I could hold through a 40% drop. That's fine, as long as whatever, as long as I get up here, that's fine. But imagine you have $10,000. Okay, you had whatever this would be. This would be like from here to there. Let's say you had $2,000, and then it turned into $10,000. Okay, well now that $10,000 is worth $6,000. You just lost 40%. Like that's, or you had $100,000 and you lost $40,000. That's a lot of money to fluctuate multiple times. You know what I mean? So that can promote a lot of emotions in people. All I'm trying to say by that is that when we move up here, even if we move with a certain pace, there's going to be volatility along the way, and you have to be prepared for that, right? And you're going to be best prepared for that if you're buying from a position of strength, right? Buying here would have been well. Even if you bought the top right there, that would have played out well for you, because from a high to another high, you moved up 3x in less than a week's time. But that would have sucked, because you would have dropped 40% first, 50% first before that happens, right? You don't want to buy in an area where you're left guessing or wondering. I mean, losing 40 to 50% right off the bat sucks. Even if you are getting a 3x at the end of the day, that sucks. So buying here at the low points, this is really the areas where you can avoid that emotional damage, that cognitive dissonance where you're just not making the right decisions because your emotions are geared up. Again, thinking about it here, and especially to the people on that note, especially to the people who might be thinking about selling OnyxCoin. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but obviously, and this is no debate, this is the worst time to sell OnyxCoin all year. All 2025, there hasn't been a worse time to sell. There hasn't been a better time to buy. Do you understand, right? If you're feeling like selling, I want to ask you a question. Did you buy at higher prices? Did you buy at higher prices? Because if you're feeling like selling, my guess is that you probably bought at higher prices. You probably didn't buy here, because if you bought down here, or you bought, where I bought, let's see. I forget if I bought just before. I want to say I bought just before the move up here. It might have been just after. But if you bought throughout any of this time, like me, you're probably not worried about the price action right now, right? But if you bought at higher points, you are. So again, ask yourself, if you didn't buy here, would you buy now? Would you take a dip in now? And if the answer is yes, then you know that it's really not the right time to sell. You're only wanting to sell because you're feeling emotions. Okay, so again, encouraging the buy, really encouraging not to sell here. But again, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Do whatever you want. I think big things are coming, and we're focused on this weekly time frame because I think it's more obvious on the weekly time frame than it is on the daily time frame or any other time frames, because we've just been moving sideways for a week, right? We haven't done a whole lot. But you look at this RSI, we do have bullish divergence. You have two higher lows. We have a low here, a lower low there, and an even slightly lower low there. That is double bullish divergence. We're kind of turning the boat around here. We'll see. But I think that we're going to move higher. Stochastics have bullish divergence. Even the MACD has bullish divergence on the daily time frame. We've got bullish divergence set up on multiple time frames on several indicators. The 4-hour is about to cross above the zero. Isn't that nice? Look at that. About to cross above the zero, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if today or tomorrow we saw OnyxCoin expanding back to prices that were well above 1 cent. Okay, so we have a little bit of a pump incoming. The way this thing likes to move up, well, it does this kind of behavior. It does this whenever it moves up, right? You typically do this. You don't do this for long. This is not how you move up, right? That's how you move down. You move down nice and slowly with drops here and there, right? When we move up, it's pretty fast. So I'm expecting we're going to get some kind of pump here in the coming days. Just wanted to make everybody aware of that. I don't know what else to say, so I'm probably just going to end the video there. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Big things are coming, and I really feel, what's the word? Moved. I feel like, because I talk about this coin every single day, maybe it's my job, it's my duty to just say, to try and get as many people to get in at the floor price while they can. because this is a really good time. I've bought more here. I bought like 3 different times in this area, and I'm still not happy. I wish I had more. I wish I had more. And we'll see. Time will tell. But moments like this, I know that they can be trying. I know that they can test your patience, test your faith, and there's nothing wrong with allocating into other projects. There's so many of them that we talk about that are doing good. I mean, CLC Cash is up 15% today. Bitcoin Cash is doing great. Cookie Dow's not doing so good today, I guess. But there's plenty of other coins that we talk about daily that are doing phenomenal. But I really think this one's going to outperform the rest, right? That's why even though it's my largest bag, I bought 3 more times in this area because I really do believe we're going to see some spectacular growth. But time will tell. And plus, again, I talk about this every single day. I got to put my money where my mouth is, man. I feel like I'm the OnyxCoin ambassador, man. I got to represent, and I think that whenever the price action moves up, we're only going to be better suited for it. So I got nothing else. I'm just talking at this point. So hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.